Howdy, I'm Redikai, and this is the first of a series of devlogs for the game I'm making with my brother called Mighty Grandpa. The reason I'm making these devlogs is as a way to keep myself accountable and share what I've gotten done that week. Because, yeah, these are going to be weekly, I hope at least. My brother, who goes by Luigi GX Online, will be making the art assets while I try to do all the game designing parts. While this isn't the first game I've worked on, this is the first game I've worked on without, like, a tutorial to guide me every step of the way, or a team to help pick up the slack. So let's get right into this. Day 1 was divided into two parts. In the first, GX and I put our ideas down on paper. We had already been discussing what kind of game we wanted to make, but now we were making things official. The second part was actually booting up the engine and getting started on bringing those ideas to life. Now, let's talk about what Mighty Grandpa actually is. Simply put, it's a 2D side-scroller inspired by games like Wario and Pizza Tower, albeit on a much smaller scope, for now. Although, depending on the reception, we might expand that scope in the future, no promises though. The game stars Eugene Armstrong, our protagonist and retired wrestling champion Mighty Grandpa. Nowadays, he spends his time in a cabin in the woods, enjoying nature, chopping wood, putting wood in the fireplace, and spending time with his family. Then, during one summer when his grandkids were visiting, enemies from Eugene's past come back to haunt and kidnap the kids, leaving behind only a note saying, "Come to Superstar Island." And with that, the game starts. You go through 5 levels, beating a boss at every level, and that's the gist of the story. Now, onto what's actually been done. I'm making the game in Unreal Engine 5 using the Paper 2D plugin. It's not the best engine for 2D games, but it is the one that I know the best, and I'd rather not learn a whole different engine just yet. So Unreal will just have to do for now. The first step was figuring out what I was even doing though. Thankfully, this super useful video by the channel Cobra Code was there to help. I'll link it in the description. Relatedly, the free Sunnyland asset pack by the artist Ansimus, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, was also really useful, and I'll be using the assets as placeholders until my brother can get around to making some for the game. Now that I knew how to even make a 2D game in Unreal, I set up the basic things like controls. This took way longer than it should have because I was having issues with the crouch function. It might not even make it into the final game since Eugene is too old to be bending his back like that, so we'll probably scrap it. Besides that, I made these nifty signs that tell you how to play the game, among other stuff. Subscribe to Redikai Core. Well, if the sign says so. On day 2, I got the attack function working after an aggravating hour of trying to figure out why the line and then the circle trace was not hitting the enemy. Turns out, I had to turn on the collision. It's always something simple. Added health so we can kill and be killed, and made it so the enemies could walk around. Look at the little guy. Day 3 was mostly spent on getting invincibility frames to work so that jumping into an enemy doesn't instantly kill you, which was a bug I discovered while streaming. Speaking of, I've been streaming every part of making this game on YouTube and Twitch. Come join us on Twitch/Redikai or at Redikai Core on YouTube. Now back to invincibility frames. Most of the difficulty actually came from getting that fun little flickering effect to work since it kept causing I eventually figured it out though. Oh, and I added bottomless pits that instantly kill you, because you can't make a platformer without bottomless pits that instantly kill you. Day 4 was all about enhanced inputs. You know those controls I set up before on day 1? Throw them out the window, because we're using enhanced inputs now. What are enhanced inputs? Simply put, they're inputs, but better. Enhanced even, you might say. Really though, they're just inputs with more functionality. You can set what causes them to trigger, make them do things only while a key is being held or released, and a ton of other stuff. I use them to set up a basic attack, charge attack, and ground smash. Yes, I know the basic and charge attack look the same. I swear they're not though. There just aren't any animations for the attacks yet. On day 5, I worked on making a game over screen and a timer. So now you have a limited amount of time to beat the level, and if it runs out, you die and can start over. Yep, that's it. It was a short stream. Day 6 made up for that by being my longest stream so far. And it was a pretty busy one too. I started off by fixing a couple collision bugs that were bothering me, which didn't take too long. After that, I quickly made blocks that Eugene could break with a charge attack and started on the level hub where players could choose the next level. I quickly gave up because I had no idea what I was doing and made a rudimentary main menu instead. But once I was done procrastinating with that, I got back to the level hub and with the help of a video by the channel Unreal University, got it mostly working. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, and there's still features missing, but I was already working for 3 hours, and I still had this video to edit, so I decided to call it quits there. And that wraps up our first week of development for Mighty Grandpa. If you've made it to the end, thank you for watching. Remember to like this video, subscribe for more devlogs, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Oh, and support us on Patreon in the description down below, and all that other YouTube stuff. If you have any suggestions for what I should work on next, or just want to say hi, drop a comment down below, or join us live on twitch.tv/RedditKai or YouTube at RedditKaiCore. I'm live from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. EST. So, yeah. Bye.